So let's get started on real numbers. So I'll share the chapter notes. All right. So even if you guys are, if there's issue with your mic or, you think there's going to be noisy or something like that, definitely type in chat. I am keeping an eye on the chat also. So yeah, I need you guys to respond. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult. I don't know whether something is easy or not easy. Okay. All right. So before we get started with the chapter, we'll do a quick revision of what you already know about numbers. First of all, real numbers. What do you mean by real numbers? Yeah, B.
Ma'am, all the natural numbers, whole numbers and integers together are the real numbers.
Yes. So Vasudha asked about real numbers, not just natural numbers. Okay. So Abir, you mentioned that all the natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, all of it taken together come under real numbers. Can you give some examples of real numbers?
Ma'am, so we can consider any irrational number.
Yeah. Example?
Like 12 upon 13.
12 upon 13. Is this rational or irrational? This is definitely a real number for sure. But specifically, would you categorize it as a rational number or irrational number? Anyone can answer.
Rational because it can be represented into P by Q form.
Absolutely. So agar any number that you can represent it as a ratio, like fraction jaise, that is going to be a rational number. Okay. Can you give examples of irrational numbers?
Root 2.
Root 2 is irrational, absolutely. Vasudha has given an example. She mentioned 12 upon 0. So this would not come under rational or irrational because this is not defined. इसका कोई specific value ही नहीं है. इसको number line पे कहीं plot नहीं कर सकते हो. That's why this is not a number at all. This is not defined. Okay. Oh yes, Abir has given another example, root 11. This is going to be irrational number. What about 3 by root 2? Is this rational or irrational?
Ma'am, first you have to rationalize the denominator, only then we can figure out if it's...
Okay. So rationalize the denominator. क्या होगा इसका value?
Ma'am, 3 root 2 upon 2.
3 root 2 upon 2. So now what would you categorize it as? Rational or irrational? Irrational, absolutely. So every time you come across root 2, root of any number, जो perfect square नहीं है, that's going to be irrational only. Okay. Ritvik has also joined in. Hello, we literally just started a while ago. Nice. So all the, like when it comes to real numbers, all the rational and irrational numbers put together. So rational plus irrational together form real numbers. Okay, so that's like the overview definition of real numbers. All right, let's see what else you have in this chapter. Natural numbers, whole numbers, integers. So last year, like we just did a review of all the rational and irrational numbers. I'll give a statement. All rational numbers are integers, but all integers are not rational numbers. True or false?
False.
So how would you correct the statement? What should be the right statement?
It would be all integers are rational numbers, but all rational numbers are not integers.
Absolutely. Yeah. So don't get confused between the definitions and all that. Yeah. All right. Apart from that, in this chapter, we're also going to learn about HCF and LCM. Bachpan se you've been doing HCF and LCM. So what do you mean by HCF?
Ma'am, the highest number that divides the two or any numbers we are taking.
Absolutely. Or in other words, as Vasudha put it, it's the highest common factor. So what Abir said is a number that divides another number is called its factor. उससे divisible है मतलब it is its factor. So अगर दो या तीन numbers है, of all their factors, whichever is the highest common factor, so that's HCF, highest common factor, largest number that divides all the given numbers. LCM will be
lowest.
yes. Aditya, your voice is a little low. Okay. All right. As Vasudha also has mentioned, Aditya also answered. So that's the Harikesh. Absolutely good. So that's the lowest or least common. Harikesh, what is it? LCM here, na? It's the lowest common multiple. Okay. Multiplier nahi hai, multiple. Yeah. Okay. So what do you mean by multiple? Like you can explain in your own terms, however you understand it. I'm going to start calling names, okay? Who is available? Jaden, what do you mean by multiple? All right, Jaden got disconnected. Who else? Harikesh. Yeah, Rishita. Go ahead. Rishita.
So basically, any number that can be divided by a particular number, say 4. So 4 is a multiple of 2 because it can be divided by 2.
Very
You
good.
get 0 as an
Yes, correct. So another way to put it is, Vasudha says multiples are base numbers that have been multiplied by other numbers. Or in other words, you can say multiples are basically the numbers you get from the table of a particular number. So multiples of 6 are going to be 6 multiplied by like 6 ones are 6, 6 twos are 12. So 6, 12, 18, 24, all of those are multiples. Okay. Prime numbers. Okay. Another way, like based on, see, the categorization of numbers as natural numbers, whole numbers, integers, rational numbers is depending on what that number looks like. So if it's a counting number, you have natural number, whole number. Positive, negative hai, so you have integers. And if it can be expressed as a ratio, that's a rational number. That's why it's called rational number. It's a rational number. Okay. Now another way to categorize numbers is based on their factors. Okay. So based on factors, you have categories of prime numbers, composite numbers, and sets of numbers called co-prime numbers. So what do you mean by prime numbers?
Answer. Ma'am, can I answer?
Sure, go ahead, Abhi.
Ma'am, the numbers who just come in two maximum tables, like 2, it only comes in the table of 1 and 2. Or it's the only, their only factors are 1 and 2.
Only factors are 1 and
2 for 2.
for 2 it
Itself,
is 1 and 2. Yeah, Raghav?
Ma'am, 1 in itself is other factors.
Very good. So Tanisha also has sent in. Yes, the only factors are 1 and the number itself. So Abir, yeah, so you got what it means. You're not able to mention, like explain what it means. But yeah, got your point. Agar 2 hai, the factors are only 1 and 2. Agar 13 hai, the factors are only 1 and 13. वैसे. Examples of prime numbers. We already discussed 2. I just mentioned 13. Apart from this, 5. Very good.
7,
7.
11,
11. Yes. 47. Yeah, we have a lot of prime numbers. 119. Is it a prime number or a composite number?
prime number.
So easy way to check is like सारे divisibility test से check कर लो. Obviously not divisible by 2. 3 से होगा क्या? 9, 10, 11, not 3, not 5. 7 से divisible है क्या? Check करो. No? Did you try dividing it by 7?
Ma'am, it is divisible by 7. 7 17s are 100.
Yeah, 7 into 17 is 119. So even though it like looks like a prime number, it is in fact a composite number. Yeah. So yeah, if it has like multiple factors other than 1 in the number itself, that's called a composite number. Okay. And finally, we have something called co-prime numbers. What do you mean by co-prime numbers?
Ma'am, the numbers whose HCF is 1.
HCF is 1. Correct. HCF 1 कब होगा?
When they have no other common factors except 1.
Correct. So 1 is like a factor of everything. So other way to put it is they don't have any common factors. So no common factors except 1. Okay. Other than 1. So can you give examples of co-prime numbers?
2 and 5.
2 and 5. Okay. Any two prime numbers you
10,
take
11.
together, yeah, it's going to be co-prime. Now, give me examples of co-prime numbers that are both composite numbers.
9 and 10.
9 and 10, very good. Yes, 9 is just 3 and then 10 has 2 and 5 as its factors. More.
15 and 4.
15 and 4. Nice. Okay. What else? थोड़ा सा higher numbers सोचो. You can work it out on paper also. Like Abhishek.
20,
Yeah, Rishita. 20 what?
20 and 21.
ठीक है, work it out. Tanisha, Vasudha, what about you guys? Send it on chat. Harikesh, Rishikesh, Sarah. Tanisha, yes, एक number direct इधर दिख रहा है, very nice. So 72 and 119, good stuff. Rishita sent in 20 and 33, very good.
Ma'am, 99 and 100.
99 and 100, okay. Consecutive numbers are like easy to take. Can anyone beat Tanisha's example? 72 and 119. Nice. This is like a warm-up exercise for you guys. Like try to think of, factors या फिर think of numbers और उनके factors क्या हो सकते हैं. Ryan, haven't gotten a response from you yet. Batao. Vasudha has sent 87 and 88. Nice. 87 ke sare factors are going to be odd. 88 is 11 and 2. So 59, 61. Good stuff. So these are again prime. 59 and 61 both are prime. Good. Rishita has sent 250 and 999. Absolutely, they are co-prime because 250 is basically 25 into 10, right? So only factors are 5 and 2. Matlab 5 like 3 times, 3 5s and 1 2. And 999 ke factors, you will have 3 is an obvious factor. Usse you'll get 111. So 3 and 37. So yeah, good. Nice, good stuff, you guys. Okay, so these are co-prime numbers. So don't shy away from big numbers. So even though they're big, काफी simple हो जाते हैं once you factorize it, simplify it. Oh, taking this 5 and 2 wala example, say Abir has extended it 100 and 999. Nice, man. So the smallest 3-digit number, largest 3-digit number, they happen to be co-prime. Good stuff. Okay, so these are all like different types of numbers that you have. And yeah, so I spent some time on this because you'll have to get comfortable with figuring out numbers ke factors kaise hote hain, kya hote hain, all of that. Which brings us to our next concept. So this chapter mein. So this whole of chapter consists of just like 2 or 3 theorems. So you have Euclid's division lemma. Lemma is nothing but it's a true statement. Like you have heard of axioms and theorems, right? So lemma is nothing but another like true statement, just like an axiom. Okay, so Euclid was the father of geometry. He was the first person to ever write something called a math textbook. So ancient Greece, like ancient civilizations may, nobody had maths subject या textbook. Everybody was, directly working, right, since childhood. So they knew math, but in a more practical sense. Like buying and selling, accounts karne mein, they obviously knew how to add, subtract, multiply, all of that. Constructions mein, they knew how to calculate areas, figure out congruent shapes, similar shapes, things like that. Euclid was the first person to collect all of this knowledge and keep it in one book so that it gets easier for the younger generation. Okay. So yeah, so he's a person who gave this statement. And then you have another theorem based on Euclid's division lemma called the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. And based on this, you have another theorem statement. So using these 3 statements only, you will solve like half of the problems in this chapter. Then the other half consists of HCF and LCM problems. And you've got like a little bit about decimals, like predicting ki agar ek fraction hai, so you can predict whether it's going to be a terminating, non-terminating, recurring decimal. And agar terminating decimal hai, then you can predict how many decimal places it's going to have. Okay, so this is like the entire chapter. So today's class, I will take up these 3 theorems. ये सब करने के बाद tomorrow we'll deal with the remaining part of the chapter, HCF, LCM and decimals. And then Friday ko we will just spend on practice of the entire thing. Okay? All right. So getting started on Euclid's division lemma. So this is the statement. This is what Euclid mentioned. Given positive integers a and b, there exist unique integers q and r satisfying a equal to bq plus r, where r can take the values from 0 to less than b. Okay. So just read the statement again on your own. So you have positive integers a and b. If you have any two random numbers, positive integers specifically, then there exist unique integers q and r satisfying a equal to bq plus r. Okay, so I'll write that expression down here. So according to Euclid's division lemma, Euclid said that if you have a and b, you can identify q and r such that a equal to bq plus r. Also, this is a very important part. R can take the values only ranging from 0 to b. So that's 0 less than or equal to r less than b. What does it look like? Does it remind you guys of something?
Linear equation?
Linear equation, okay. But like all of them are numbers, like none of them are variables. Like obviously over here they're variables, but it's a generalization for numbers. What else? Anybody else? Any other guesses?
Remainder theorem?
Yes, very good, Raghav. So remember you guys bachpan mein you had this expression that you learned, dividend equal to kya tha wo?
Divisor into quotient plus remainder.
Yes. So it kind of looks like that, right? Divisor into quotient plus remainder. Or remainder koi bhi values ho sakte hai, or is there like a restriction on what values the remainder can be? So what all values can the remainder take in this expression? Vasa saying 0 to b. Huh? Here it is 0 to b. Like how it relates to this
0
is
to quotient.
0 to quotient.
Plus 1.
Like let's say I divide some random number like 589 divided by 7. ये division करने के बाद you're going to get one quotient and divisible नहीं है, तो you will get some remainder. So what all values can the remainder take? Ha, Tanisha got it. So remainder can always be like it can always take the values from 0 to the divisor, na? Matlab remainder is always less than divisor, na? Will you get any case where the remainder will be greater than divisor? So basically what Euclid is saying is that if you have any two random numbers a and b, एक बड़ा number है और एक छोटा number है, then you will always find a unique q and r which satisfies this equation. So basically he's saying that any two numbers उनको divide कर सकते हो, और divide करने पे you will get a unique quotient and a unique remainder. So these two numbers you'll only get only when you divide that particular A with particular B. If A changes, then the Q and R also will change. If B changes, then the Q and R also will change. That's what Euclid is saying. Okay. And this is the most important part, that zero, like remainder, the value of R will never be equal to B. It will always be less than B. So it is a positive integer. It can be 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on, up to 1 less than the divisor. Okay. Clear about this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So this is Euclid's division lemma. So based on this, another theorem was defined, which is fundamental theorem of arithmetic. Okay. So what this theorem states is that every composite number, so this particular theorem is specific only for composite numbers. So every composite number can be expressed as a product of primes. Expressed as a product of primes is nothing but, अगर एक composite number है तो उसका prime factorization कर सकते हो. And this factorization is unique apart from the order in which the prime factors occur. So what this statement is saying is that every composite number will have a unique prime factorization. Okay. So for example, composite number 48 है, तो इसका prime factorization क्या होगा? So you get 2 into एक और बार 2 into
3.
2 into 3, right? So 48 ka prime factorization is this. Now, if I write it in a different order, same factors, but different order. If I write it as 2 into 3 into 2 into 2 into 2, will I get a different number or same number?
Same number.
Same number.
Same number, right?
Same number.
The reason is that all the factors that I have, if you take these particular factors in any order, they will always be the factorization of 48. So if I change the number 48, instead of 48, if I take 72, then the prime factorization of 72 is going to be different, and it's going to belong only to 72. So basically every composite number has its own unique prime factorization. So it has a prime factorization, and this particular list of factors is unique. Apart from the order in which prime factors occur, मतलब order change हो सकता है because multiplication है, doesn't depend on the order of numbers. But what factors you're considering will always be unique to a particular number. Okay, that's all that is saying. It's just complicated kind of statements, but what they mean is all, it sounds like common sense. It's like logical things you've been observing since childhood. Okay. Clear about this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Now comes our first like proper theorem of the chapter. So theorem statement is, let P be a prime number. If P divides A square, then P divides A, where A is a positive integer. So basically, if P divides A square, matlab P is a factor of A square, then the theorem states that P should always also be a factor of A. Okay. Make sense? Like, do you agree with it? Or is it sounding weird? How's it going, guys? Like, does
Ma'am,
it?
can you explain with an example?
Huh. Okay. So P is a prime number, which is a factor of a square. A square matlab koi bhi square number. Can you give me an example of a square number? Bada wala number, like don't give 4 or 9.
64.
64. Okay. 64 ka one of the prime factors is 2. Well, the only prime factor is 2. But yeah, one of the prime factors of 64 is 2. Equal to nahi hoga, one of the prime factors is 2. According to this theorem, because 2 is a factor of 64, which is basically 8 square, 2 should also be a factor of 8 itself. That's what the theorem is saying. I'll take another example. Let's say you have a number 15 square. This is your a square. Okay. 225 hai 15 square. So one of the prime factors of 225 is 3. Right? 2 plus 2, 4, 4 plus 5, 9, divisible by 3. If 3 is a prime factor of 225, according to this theorem, P should divide A. So 3 should also divide iska square root. So it should also be a prime factor of 15. That is what this theorem states. And this will only, like this is correct only if you're talking about prime factors. P should be a prime number and P divides A square, then P divides A. Okay. Got it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. So abhi we'll look at the proof of this theorem. Okay, this I'll do it step by step on the whiteboard. से थोड़ा अच्छा सा समझ में आएगा. Okay. So based on the statement, what all are you given?
P is a prime number.
Very good. Yes, P is a prime number. And you're also given that P divides A square.
And P divides A.
Now, that is what you have to prove. So statement ऐसा है कि P, if P is a prime number and P divides A square, then P divides A. So अगर ये condition fulfill करता है, तो फिर P will also divide A. So that's what you have to prove. So to prove is going to be the fact that P divides A. This proof is not going to be very complicated. But because it is expressed, like it has so many variables and it is expressed as statement, thoda sa ajeeb lagega. But that is only because you guys have not come across things like this, or like the only place you would have come across this in grade 9 remainder theorem, factor theorem jab kar rahe ho. Okay. So yeah. Anyway, now coming to the proof. Okay. So we know that A is a positive integer, right? And it is a composite number. Okay. अगर composite नहीं है तो फिर भी क्या? Let the prime factorization of A be equal to P1 into P2 into P3 into P4 and so on till Pn. Because A is any number, we don't know how many prime factors we have. So we are assuming it, let it be P1 into P2 into P3 into P4 into so on till Pn. Okay. Now we know that P divides A square, right? So let's look at the prime factorization of A square. So squaring on both sides, you get A square equal to, क्या आएगा इधर? You guys fill it up.
P1 square,
Okay, good. P1 square,
P2 square,
हाँ, into P2 square
P3 square,
into P3 square and
and
same
Pn
thing,
square.
Pn square. Okay. Isko, I can also write it as, like, if I want to lay out all the factors without like exponents or anything, if I want to just put it in simple terms, I can write it as P1 into P2 into P3 into so on till Pn. And this whole thing is repeated again into P1 into P2 into P3 into so on till Pn. Okay, is this right?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. What I did is squares को expand किया मैंने. That's all that happened here. P1 is P1 into P1. P2 square is P2 into P2. That way. Okay. Now come back to our given statement. P divides A square. मतलब P is one of P1 or P2 or P3 and so on till Pn. All we know that P is a prime factor of A. मतलब P can be equal to P1 or P2 or P3 or P4 and so on. So P1 can be found in one of these numbers, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But then we know that P1, P2, P3, all of these are factors of A. So if P is one of these, that should mean that P is also a factor of A.
Can you explain the last part again?
हाँ. So prime factorization of A square समझ में आ गया ना? So it is P1 into P1 into P2 into P2 into P3 into P3 and so on. Abhi our given statement is that P divides A. P divides A मतलब P is basically either P1 or P2 or P3. Like in सारे numbers में से एक number is definitely P because P is a factor of A square. Right?
Yes.
But basically, based on our assumption, P1, P2, P3, all these are factors of A. Matlab P is definitely found in these numbers. Matlab P is definitely a factor of A. If P is equal to one of these, all of these are factors of A basically. So that's why we can prove that P divides A.
Ma'am, but P1 isn't a factor of A square, it's P1 square.
P1 square अगर factor है, तो P भी factor रहेगा ना? P1 भी factor रहेगा ना?
Yes.
इसलिए P1 is a factor of A square, which means that P1 is a factor of A also. So if P equal to P1, then P is a factor of A also. It's a very simple proof. It's like saying 1 plus 0 equal to 1. Like everybody knows that, yet you have to like put it in the steps and put it as a proper proof and everything. Yeah. So I'll just go over this once again last time. So let P be a prime number. If P divides A square, then P divides A. Like we know it's common sense, it makes sense, but still we need to go through with the proof. So we're given that P is a prime number. A is also any positive integer, and the fact that P divides A square. We have to prove that P also divides A. So proof is that assume let the prime factorization of A be A equal to P1 into P2 into P3 and so on till Pn, where P1, P2, P3, all these are primes. Okay. Though not necessarily distinct. Like P1 can be equal to P2. Like for example, in our earlier example, if I take 48, we got the prime factorization as 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 3, right? So basically these are P1, P2, P3 and so on that way. Though not necessarily distinct. Now, because we know what is P is a factor of A square, we start off by squaring it. So A square ka prime factorization kya hoga? Because A equal to all of these multiplied, A square will also be equal to all of these multiplied. So A square is P1 square plus into P2 square into P3 square and so on. So P divides A square. This is a fact that we are given, which means that P is a prime number that is a factor of A square. Matlab P is a prime factor of A square. But the only prime factors of A square are P1, P2, P3 and so on till Pn. So P has to be one of P1, P2, P3, P4 or Pn. But these are all also the factors of A. So that is why we can prove that P is a factor of A. P divides A. Okay? So this is one proof. All right. Another major type of problem that you get in this chapter is proving irrational numbers. So an example that is given here is to prove that root 2 is irrational, but you can use the same method to prove root 3 is irrational or root 5 is irrational, all of these things. Okay, so before we go ahead with this proof, like abhi tak pura theory jaise ho gaya na, because I've been talking a lot. We'll do some problems based on Euclid's division lemma and fundamental theorem of arithmetic. So that's like 50% of the different types of problems that you get in the chapter. Okay. So first one is HCF. So we'll just skip this for now, क्योंकि अभी तक हमने HCF नहीं किया. All right. Look at 1.1.3. Show that any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3, where q is some integer. Okay. What is the difference between odd integers and even integers, or odd numbers and even numbers? Yeah. What's the difference between odd numbers and even numbers? Amir?
Exactly Examples of odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, and examples of even number are 2, 4, 6.
हाँ, correct examples, but fundamental difference क्या है? Like, why are 2, 4, 6 called even numbers? Why are 1, 3, 5 called odd numbers? Okay, Tanisha says odd numbers can't be divided equally. That's not true. अगर मेरे पास 9 है, 9 is an odd number, I can divide it into 3 equal parts, no? 3 plus 3 plus 3.
Ma'am, a odd number cannot be divided into 2 or 3 equal groups, where an even number can. Example 5 and 2. 2 can be 1 plus 1, but 5 can't be 2 equal numbers. It will only be 2 plus 3 or 1 plus 4.
Wait. So the key word is 2. So Vasudha has mentioned even numbers can be grouped into 2 equal parts. Matlab, another way of saying it is even numbers are divisible by 2, odd numbers are not divisible by 2. So Tanisha, you missed out on the 2 there. Divided equally matlab koi bhi equal parts ho sakta hai na? Like if you have 9, you can divide it into 3 equal parts. But you can't divide 9 into 2 equal parts. There will always be one remaining. Okay, so the key word every time someone asks what is the difference between odd and even, simple. Odd matlab not divisible by 2, even matlab divisible by 2. Okay. Okay, so now that we know what odd numbers, even numbers are, let's see how to prove this. Any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3, where q is some integer. Okay, how do we, like if you get these sort of problems, which this chapter is filled with, how do you solve it? Just do this on the whiteboard. So whenever you have problems where you have to prove something is of the form, like in this case, you have 4q plus 1. Other problems you might have 6q plus 3 or 6q plus 2. That kind of format, no? For sure, your first thought will be use fundamental theorem of arithmetic, like use Euclid's division lemma. First thing, blindly, you can just be like, use Euclid's division lemma. Okay. So in this case, the question 1.1.3 asked, show that positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. यहाँ पे we need to use the logic that odd number matlab not divisible by 2, even matlab it is divisible by 2. Okay. So let's start the solution. Take the first case. Acha, before we do this, divisibility by 2 matlab, like if you have any random number a and you divide it by 2, so your divisor is 2, then you get some quotient and remainder. So what all are your possible values for the remainder? Agar divisor 2 hai to
0,
1
1
and 0.
0. More than 0, less than a. Less than q.
less than q nahi baba, less than the divisor. Okay, so हमारा divisor 2 है तो
Can either be 0 or 1.
yes, good stuff. So remainder can take the values of either 0 or 1. Okay, now which means that any random number will be of the form 2q plus 0, which is basically equal to 2q, or 2q plus 1. इसमें से which will be odd number and which will be even?
Ma'am, the first one will be even and the second 2q plus 1 will be odd.
Correct. So 2q remainder 0 matlab it is perfectly divisible by 2. So this is going to be your representation of even numbers. And यहाँ पे कुछ तो remain हो रहा है, मतलब this is not divisible. So this is going to be your odd numbers. Okay. A lot of times whenever you're asked to prove even or odd, this will be your main aim. So you need to get it of the form either 2 into something to prove that it's even, or get it of the form 2 into something plus 1 to prove that it's odd number. Okay. So now coming back to our solution. Okay. Our first case, consider case 1. We've got 4q plus 1. So our integer is 4q plus 1. How can you prove that this is an odd number? Can you express it as 2 into something plus 1?
Yes.
How do you do that?
2 into 2q plus 1.
Very nice. So I can write 4q plus 1 as 2 into 2q plus 1, which is basically, I'll call the value 2q as m. So 2m plus 1. So 2 into something plus 1 jaise aa gaya. So you can say that this is an odd integer. Similarly, next case, ये तो direct एक step में हो गया. If you consider 4q plus 3, how do I represent it as an odd integer?
2 into 2q plus 3.
2 into 2q, okay, 2 into something plus 1 आना चाहिए ना? How do I write it? So if I write this 3 as 2 plus 1, now can you represent it? So I can take
Yes.
2 common. अगर 2 common लिया, तो I'll get 2 into 2q plus 1 plus 1. So basically overall I'm getting 2 into something plus 1. So that is representative of an odd number. So I'll call it 2n plus 1, where n is equal to 2q plus 1. This is going to be an integer, random values, depends on q. But yeah, because it is of the form 2 into something plus 1, I can call it an odd integer. Okay. That is why any odd integer can be represented as 4q plus 1 and 4q plus 3. Okay. So these are the kind of calculation or logic or statements you'll have to write to answer these questions. Whatever is there in black, you can ignore. This is more of an introduction to figure out what are odd numbers, even numbers, and all that. But yeah, your final answer is going to be whatever is there in blue. Okay. So if you want, you guys can make a note of this. I'll give you like another 2-3 minutes, make a note of this. And next problem, similar one, I'll give you another problem and you guys try and do it on your own. Okay. Let me know when you guys are done and ready for the next sum. Okay, Rishita's done. One person done. So you can either raise your hands or you can put it, like, you can send a message on chat. Tanisha's done. Okay, Harikesh, I'll tell you. So case 1, the question asked to prove that any odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. So basically, odd matlab it should not be divisible by 2. So if we can somehow prove that this particular number will be of the value 2 into something plus 1, we are basically proving that it's an odd integer. Here. So that is why we took 4q plus 1 and then we wrote it as 2 into 2q plus 1. Abhi, whatever value you give to q equal to 1, q equal to 2, q equal to 10, q equal to 19, whatever value you give to, 2 into something is going to be even, plus 1 is going to be odd. So no matter what the value of q may be, this overall expression is going to be odd because it is of the form 2 into something plus 1. So that is why we could prove that 4q plus 1 is odd. Similarly, even for 4q plus 3, we did the same treatment. We manipulated it, we wrote it in the form 2 into something plus 1 so that we can prove that it is odd. Okay, better? Cool. Okay, so Aditya is done, Vasudha is done, Tanisha is done. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 people done. 4 out of 14. Come on, guys. Harikesh also done. Raghav's done. That's 5 and 6. Apir is also done. 7. Okay. So second case में 4q plus 3 है ना. So पहले step में I divided this 3 as 2 plus 1. I wrote it as 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1 equal to 3. Then second step में 2 into 2q, 2 into 1. So in दोनों में से I took 2 common. So I got overall 2 into 2q plus 1. अगर इसको multiply किया तो I'm going to get this back 4q plus 2 plus 1. Okay. So 2 into 2q plus 1 plus 1. So 2 into something plus 1. That's why it is odd. Abir and Rishikesh also done. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ritvik's also done. 9. Sarah's done. Good. 10. So Snehal, Ryan, Amey. Ryan, are you still copying or are you still noting it down, doing the sum, or are you done? Done? Cool. Snehal, come on, what's up? Amey is also done. Cool. All right, Snehal completed. Yeah, this session is being recorded, you guys. So if in case you want to revisit something pura nahi hai, to fir you can watch the recording later on. Okay. Snehal, that goes for you also. Yeah. So you can just revisit this and watch it again later. All right. So I'd mentioned one more problem that you guys get to do on your own, right? Okay. Look at 1.1.19. Show that any positive integer, now it doesn't matter if it is odd or even, like any integer is of the form 3q or 3q plus 1 or 3q plus 2 for some integer q. All right. So how will you approach this? Yeah, Bhavika, I saw you getting a mute. How will you start this problem? Like, I want you guys to try and then. No ideas? Should I do it on the whiteboard or are you guys planning? Oh, you got
Do
disconnected.
it on the whiteboard.
Okay, we're doing question number 19, Bhavika. Do it on the whiteboard. Yeah, Raghav, any ideas? Okay, all right.
What if we can take
Yep.
2q plus q plus 0? If that's right.
This is like a fresh problem. So, like, forget about 2q for now. You guys have noted the question, right? Like, read the question. Share the whiteboard now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the question is, prove that any positive integer, so any integer, I'll write the question in red, okay, is of the form 3q or 3q plus 1 or 3q plus 2. Okay. Now think of fundamental, think of Euclid's division lemma. What did Euclid's division lemma say? A equal to bq plus r, hai na? So how will you use this concept in this context? Okay. Very nice. Tanisha has got it, like she's going in the right direction. She said, case 1, can it be 3q plus 0? Absolutely. So according to Euclid's division lemma, any integer a can be, like if you have any random integer a and b, you can express it as a in terms of bq plus r, where r has certain values less than b, right? Let b equal to 3 in this case. So any integer a, any random number that you have, can be expressed as 3q plus r. तो अगर ये है हमारा एक्सप्रेशन, तो r के पॉसिबल वैल्यूज क्या है?
0,
0 is 1. What else? Yeah,
1 and
1 and 2.
1 and 2. 3 नहीं हो सकता है, then it will become divisible by 3. Remainder 0 आ जाएगा. ठीक है. So R can take the values 0, 1 or 2. Okay. So basically, any integer A, therefore, any positive integer A will be equal to either 3q. So 3q plus 0 matlab it will be 3q alone, or 3q plus 1, or 3q plus 2. So that's what we're supposed to prove. Okay. So this is like, it seemed like ek step mein khatam ho gaya na. So what this problem actually means is that if you take any random number, it should fit either 3q or 3q plus 1 or 3q plus 2. Okay. Pick any random number. Give me an example. Any number you want. Okay. Oh, Vasudha and Tanisha, both of them have messaged the same number 7. Areva. Okay. So if you have 7, will it fit any of these three?
no, ma'am.
Why not? So if you divide 7 by 3,
2 plus 1.
3 into 2 plus 1. So basically 7 is fitting 3q plus 1. In this case, q happened to be equal to 2. I'll give you another number. 48. If you had to express it as 3q or 3q plus 1 or 3q plus 2, which of these three forms will it fit?
Ma'am, 3q.
3q. So 48 is equal to 3 into, Tanisha, what happened to your division?
60.
3 into 16, not 19. So in this case, q happened to be equal to 16. So it fit this format. If I take, let's say, 119, our favorite number, what format is it going to fit? 3 into
3q plus 1.
3q plus 1. कैसे? Divide करो.
3q plus 2.
So 3 into 30. These are 9. 29 matlab 39 plus 2. So in this case, q happened to be equal to 39. So कोई भी number ले लो. If I take 50, it's going to be equal to 3 into 3 ones are 3. 3 into 16 plus 2. 3q plus 2 again. So koi bhi, any random number you take, it is definitely going to fit one of these three forms. Okay. So that's what the statement means. Prove that any positive integer is of the form 3q or 3q plus 1 or 3q plus 2. So how do you prove it? According to Euclid's division lemma में a कोई भी हो सकता है, b कोई भी हो सकता है. And the value of r only depends on b. So r takes the values from 0 to b. So that is why you fix b and then r gets fixed with certain values. So a अभी भी कोई भी हो सकता है. Because the value of b is fixed to 3, value of r also gets limited. So as per this, because we took b as 3, a can be expressed as either 3q plus 0 or 3q plus 1 or 3q plus 2. ठीक है.
Ma'am, in the first one, we'll express it as 3q, or we'll leave it as 3q, or say it as 3q plus 0.
You can leave it as 3q. Anything plus 0 is the same thing, right? So even if you take 3q plus 0, 0 का कोई value नहीं है, so you can write it as 3q. ठीक है. So now, like, does it fit better? Like, are you guys getting the context behind what is Euclid's division lemma and how do you use it in problems?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. ठीक है. Cool. So it's 420, right? Okay. So we'll do one proof that something